640's own Sid Rosenberg show is on the air.
640 Sports.
I just the stress of the job doing this. Think about something else, it'll pass. What's the total number of lockers in here?
18.
I put my hand on you. Is it gonna go through?
Try.
Look, if I'm not dreaming, what are you doing here?
You called me.
No, I didn't call you. No, you just showed up in that hospital bed. You gave me a hell of a scare, let me tell you.
Yeah, it wasn't me. That was your imagination reaching out to me. So, here I am.
In the flesh, so to speak.
Something like that.
Anyone else coming in, would they see you?
No. They would just think that you were crazy standing here talking to yourself.
And they'd be right. I'm standing here talking to a ghost.
You were going through an unusual time.
Tell me about it.
You tell me.
What's it like?
What, being dead?
Yeah.
It's okay. Peaceful.
You know stuff about us?
Like when you're gonna die?
Yeah.
You really want to know that?
That guy's gun don't misfire. I'm laid out at Gleason's funeral home, so yeah, I want to know. I'm not afraid to die. I know life is short. I just want to know how short.
And if life was short, I wouldn't be here. Life is long.
You know this? Life is long.
It's long in possibilities. It's long in those you affect. It's long in what lives on after you're gone. Yeah, that much I know.
I gotta ask you. You see Andy Jr.?
He's fine.
What about Sylvia?
Also fine.
Do you see them?
No, it don't work like that. But I know they're fine. I know you're in their hearts.
And this little chat that we're having, can we make this a regular thing?
I'm always around if you need me.
When are you gonna be like my guardian angel?
Something like that.
I miss you, partner.
I miss you too.
Girl, you're looking fine tonight, and every guy has got you in his side. What you're doing with a clown like me is surely one of life's little mysteries. So tonight, the stars above, how did I ever win your love? What did I do? What did I say to turn your angel eyes my way?
This guy's blind. I was talking about this guy, Jeff Healey, from the Jeff Healey band, Angel Eyes, and that was one of the most gut-wrenching scenes I've ever seen on television, ever. The Dennis Franz, who was brilliant, and Jimmy Smits, NYPD Blue. What the hell's going on with David Wright? I mean, it keeps reoccurring to me throughout today's program, talking to Joyce Kaufman about Marco Rubio and Hillary Clinton and Congress telling Obama and John Kerry not so fast. And everything, maybe the San Diego Chargers may deal their quarterback Phil Rivers to Tennessee, which may open the door for Marcus Mariota to end up in San Diego, and the Heat being ousted from the playoffs, and discussing hockey with Barry Melrose. And somewhere in the back of my mind, this whole David Wright thing has me pretty upset. But before I get to the phones about these TV shows, let me get the latest on the All-Star third baseman David Wright from our go-to New York Met guy, Steven Zemek.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes. We'll give you the world.
Stevie, good morning, pal. How are you?
Good morning.
What are your sources up in Queens telling you about the David Wright injury?
He's going to have an MRI today on this hamstring when he slid into second base. A lot similar, like you, sliding to home.
Shut up, bro. Don't bring
with
me
the
into
hamstring.
This. It's very embarrassing of you.
So, well, you're on the same level as David Wright.
Yeah, I guess. Right.
But,
right now I am, because neither one of us are getting that bat today against the Phillies.
Yeah, he will definitely not play today, and Terry Collins says it looks like it could be about 2 weeks, maybe a DL stint. So,
wow.
Yeah, a little depressing since the Mets are playing so well.
That's about it?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the update. That was Steve Zemak here.
You're welcome.
From our news desk.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes. We'll give you the world.
Here's Steve. Good morning, Steven. How are you, pal?
Good morning, Sydney. How are you today?
Thank you. Good.
You're talking about all these actors, and they're all great in their own right. But for me, an actor that really changed television, had a huge impact, broke down a lot of barriers, and was a huge influencer is John Ritter, the great John Ritter. I think, he did so many things that had never been done before with Three's Company, and really had a huge impact on nighttime, primetime TV. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Don't disagree. That whole show, I mean, Ritter was a great comedic actor. He really was, and died way too young. That was tragic. But that whole show, I mean, every one of them became household names. Suzanne Summers and Joyce DeWitt and Don Knotts and Norman Fell. That was an amazing cast they put together.
Absolutely. And if I could just throw in 2 cents, I hear there's a little company bonding picnic or something that's going to be happening.
It's the big PBP picnic tomorrow, where they're going to have ball sack races, and they're going to have all these types of fun events, yes.
Sounds great. So being the philanthropist that I am at heart, and having heard you over the last couple of years comment on a lot of seeming derelicts and disturbed and unique individuals that work within your organization kind of behind the scenes, what I thought you could do is kind of create like a little human petting zoo. Have those people kind of with like a little wood fence with a rickety gate, let fans pay a couple bucks, bring their kids, and let them pet and feed, those particular employees. I thought it would be unique. It's never been done. And you could donate the money to some charity.
Not a bad idea. We'll take that up with the fine folks at PBB.
John Ritter, I like that. But can we think of any other show where like the Ropers got replaced, Don Knotts comes in? It's basically the show got better. The Ropers were the first 3 seasons. They went out the door. Yeah. Don Knotts comes in.
I like Norman Fell, though.
Well, what about when, on Happy Days, you had Pat Morita.
Yeah.
And then, who was the first? Was it Molinaro or Morita?
Molinaro was first.
Oh, okay.
And then
Morita was better.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Yeah. Good
Molinaro
point.
was very good on The Odd Couple, though. He played the cop there.
Yeah, he
What about the Floridories? Here is Gordon. Good morning, Gordon.
Shit, what's happening?
Hey there.
When I grew up, or when I was growing up as a kid, I'm a little bit younger than you are. I remember the Thursday night of Cosby Show, Family Ties, followed by Cheers at 9.
Yeah, great.
Night Court at 9:30, and then L.A. Law, which I loved.
You know what? That is a great call, and it's funny because I'm older than you, Gordon. So when the Tuesday nights had Happy Days of Vernon Shorty, Three's Company, and Heart to Heart, there was a show on Thursday nights that I really loved. It starred a late actor by the name of Robert Urich. He played Dan Tanner. The show was Vegas. But later on, you're right, the next generation, if you will, that Thursday night. Say that again. Yeah. Say that lineup again.
That was Cosby Show, then Family Ties, then Cheers. Then I think the only one that kind of brought it down was maybe Night Court, but that was still kind of good. John Larroquette. And then you got L.A. Law.
Oof.
You can't be dead. Hey, shit, I'll just say this. 2 things. One, I'm watching a lot of Fox News lately. I'm watching a lot of Hannity. I don't know why, but I guess because the MSNBC lineup is so bad that I got to watch something.
Well, they banned. I like to like Chris. And
it's awful.
They're just so agenda driven. You can't watch them.
I just like Chris. I like Chris Matthews, but he comes on at 7 o'clock. I can't start watching TV at 7. They should start putting that show a little bit later. So because look what we're stuck with. We're stuck with Rachel Maddow and that other guy, so the other thing too is, and just the one sports thing. I'll say this as a Heat fan. Thank God the season's over. I'm tired. I'm tired of looking at Tyler Johnson, Michael Beasley, this guy Frank Martin or whatever his name was, who's jacking up these threes and bricking everything. Mario Chalmers, it's enough. Thank goodness. I'm tired of getting leads and blowing them. enough already.
Well, that was the season right there. You just said it. It was less about injury. You know, the Heat host down here, I listen once in a while to the competing stations, and they don't know anything. And they watch the games. I don't. Talking about injuries and injuries. Injuries was not why they did not make the playoffs. It just wasn't. Bosch went down. It was very unfortunate. And I went over this a bunch of times the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to do it again. But they had at least 8 or 9 double-digit, folks, double-digit second-half leads. And they lost those games outright. That's why they could have been a 6 seed, a 7 seed for sure. But that's why the Heat did not make the playoffs, because they couldn't hold on to second-half leads. That's the bottom line. Talking about shows that got better when the original actors got replaced. C.J. Backer says, cheers.
Oh, yeah, that's a
He
good
says
one, too.
when Kirstie Alley replaced Shelley Long, and when Woody Harrelson came on the show got better. He's right.
Woody, I did like Shelley Long, but Woody was...
You thought Shelley Long was better than Kirstie Alley?
No,
Shelley was good. Her and Sam had a nice relationship. She was excellent in my favorite movie of all time, Night Shift.
Right.
Which Michael Keaton and Henry Winkler, the great Bill Blazkowski. Jason, what's going on, pal? Good morning, Jason.
Sid.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Sid? If somebody would have told me, Woody Harrelson during that time would be the most successful actor out of that group, I would have thought you were crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that. He played this. You're right. He played this like dopey, idiotic bartender, and it turns out he's a tremendous actor. You're right.
Yeah, he's become the most successful in my opinion. I have my input there on what the topic you guys are talking about as far as best actors in the past, but want to throw this in there, Sid. I know you talk a lot about politics, and typically I lean to the left, even though I'm not a Hillary fan whatsoever. But unfortunately for you and me, she's got a couple ingredients that I think are indestructible.
Like what?
First of all, the last name, the gender, and money. I just don't think she's going to lose because of that.
Well, she's not going to lose the presidential race, or certainly she's not going to lose the primary, right? Yeah. Well, listen, you make a very good point, Jason. Those 3 things are certainly in Hillary's favor. We just voted in our first black president. Maybe there's a percentage of our population that know nothing about the issues, know nothing about politics, but are very excited to possibly vote in our first female. So you're right. She's got the gender. She's got tons of money, most of which she robbed. And her name is Clinton. I can't argue with any of those. And that's why people are going to vote for her, because anybody who's got a half a brain knows that she's done nothing politically. I mean, nothing. The same people that want to excuse her for Benghazi, I mentioned this yesterday, want to give Barack Obama the credit for the economy. Well, I mean, Hillary is an awful politician. She's not bad. She's awful. But those 3 things are certainly in her favor. Rich, what's going on?
Hey, Sid, it's great to hear you again.
Well, thank you.
I'm an old WFAN listener from Connecticut, so it's cool to come down here and hear you on the air.
Oh, thank you, Rich. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you.
It's crazy, everything going on in politics and sports, and all people want to talk about are old television shows.
Well, you know what? I get a lot of calls on politics. My phones will light up about TV shows, and here in Miami, sports comes last. It's not at my end. I tell everybody the same thing, Rich. Even now, last summer, when I filled in for 2 months, before I did my monologue, before Mike and the dog did their monologue, before Summers or Beningo or Boomer and Craig say a word, every single phone line is lit. They don't even care. Like, I'll do the first 20 minutes on the Knicks, and then I'll take 7 Met calls. They are ready, armed, and dangerous. That's the difference between sports in New York and a town like this.
Right. And I'm a Yankees fan. I can't talk about the Yankees right now. They stink so bad.
Well, they played. What do you mean? They were playing. They played great Sunday and Monday.
Hey, listen, there's not a lot to look forward to because I think Tanaka's not going to last too long. I think Sabathia is probably done. Who knows about the rest of that rotation? What they're going to do? There's no offense. I mean, it's not a good time to be a Yankees fan.
No,
I'd rather be a Mets fan at this point.
Right. Can't argue that.
And I can't get into politics. Politics right now is almost as bad as the Yankees going to be. But with the television shows, what I always like to do, and my wife goes crazy with me, but you put on YouTube and you look up all the old theme music. The theme songs from those shows were unbelievable.
They were unbelievable because you had, thank you for the phone call, Rich, I'm glad you found us. You had guys like Al Jarreau. Al Jarreau was singing the song for Moonlighting. You had Barry Manilow doing stuff. You had the Laverne and Shirley thing obviously is a very catchy tune. The Happy Days tune, basically a ripoff of what's his name?
Around the Clock.
Rock Around the Clock. Thank you.
Well, they started the first season with Rock Around the Clock.
Yeah, I mean, all those shows, and certainly the Cheers song.
Yeah.
When nobody knows your name, everybody knows that one. I mean, can you tell me a show today where the theme? That's a great point out of Rich. Where the theme song is that recognizable? I mean, every show back then you knew the theme song.
No, that's
these days they kind of just rush right through it and get to the show.
Right.
They might even just scroll the credits in the beginning.
There's like some piece of music bed, and that's about it. This is Al Jarreau, Moonlighting. Oh yeah, this was a great show too. Bruce Willis got his start right here, and the very annoying Sybil Shepherd. Sybil Shepherd to me is about as annoying as Blythe Danner. Give me some more of this. Gwyneth Paltrow's mom. Give me some more of this. Good stuff. Give me the theme song for Murphy Brown.
Murphy Brown?
That's why I saw on the CBS Early Show last Sunday, they did a whole piece with, what is her, Candice Bergen, is that right?
I believe that is
Candice Bergen,
yeah. Candice.
She's had quite a career, mind you, and quite a career way before she was Murphy Brown. But
I think she's pretty funny.
She was. Do you realize when she did Murphy Brown, she was the highest paid actor on television? Murphy Brown. Here we go.
This is it?
This is Murphy Brown, bro.
Okay.
You like this song? Look at your face.
I never really watched it, so
Yeah. I remember the Family Ties song. There was a song for Family Ties. I always confused Family Ties, the Michael J. Fox show, with the Kirk Cameron show, which was what?
Oh, what was that one?
I always confuse those. Not the shows, but the title of the shows. Michael J. Fox's show was Family Ties. Kirk Cameron's show was what?
That's a good question.
Come on, we got to know that.
Yeah, well, I should know it.
Which show was Alan Thicke on? Alan Thicke was on with Kirk Cameron because Michael Gross played Michael J. Fox's father on his show. Oh, this is Family Ties, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael P. Keaton. Alex P. Keaton, excuse me. He was a staunch Republican. Even this was a great song. This Johnny Mathis? Oh, this is great stuff, huh?
They're like real songs. They're actual songs.
They're real songs. You got guys like Mancini
writing
stuff.
the one that ends like sha-na-na-na.
Sha-na-na-na-na, the very end, yes, exactly right. Baby.
Meredith Baxter Burney.
She played the mother.
Michael Gross.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox.
And then, of course,
Justine Bateman.
Who could forget the theme song from the
Growing Pains?
Growing Pains. Is that your wife?
Just texted
Oh, Tanya. Hey, Tanya. By the way, Tanya, you're listening. Do want to send my condolences to your husband Al, who's a wonderful guy, and I know you're very proud of him. And your boys are both beautiful kids, and your husband made a beautiful speech when your dad at your dad's service. I do want to send my condolences to him over his mom. I know that I want to know you guys are going to be dealing with that issue. So, but yes, Growing Pains is right. This theme song too may ring a bell. I'll give you just 3 words. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Mr. Lengel?
I'm ready.
Moving on up.
Oh, the Jeffersons, of course. To the east side.
You know, the guy who played the neighbor on the Jeffersons, is it Bentley? Does that sound right?
Bentley, the English guy?
Yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time that no one ever talks about, but for some reason I liked it, was a movie called The Freshman. The Freshman starred Matthew Broderick and the late, great Marlon Brando. And I believe the Penelope Ann Miller, I think, was the girl. And Maximilian Schell, I think, was in it, too. You may remember the movie. Bruno Kirby, the great Bruno Kirby, who passed away, a young man. He was in that movie, too. And Bentley was in that movie. Bentley played Matthew Broderick's drama teacher at New York University. And remember when Penelope Ann Miller walked in and said, "My father thinks he deserves an A"? And her father was like the big mobster? That was Bentley from the Jeffersons.
Yeah, that I didn't see the Freshman.
The Good Times have a song?
Good Times. Oh, yeah.
What was the song for that? I don't remember.
Keeping your head above water.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Temporary layoffs. I used to love Good Times.
Good Times. I like Bookman.
Bookman? Oh, the janitor.
He was my favorite.
Yeah, the Good Times was soulful.
Temporary layoffs.
I used to love Good Times. I used to get so angry because
that guy.
Friggin' James was.
Yeah, he scared me. John Amos. John Amos scared the hell out of me.
Work his butt off and always get done wrong by the man.
I know, but not only that, but he scared me. He looked like an angry guy.
Well, he was a big.
Here we go. Here's some Good Times for you.
You hear this? See? Keeping your head above water.
Jump in there. Go ahead, buddy. Come on. Go.
Making a wave if you can. Oh, this is my favorite.
Temporary layoffs.
Yeah, temporary layoffs, man.
Thank you. Yeah, we may have some of those coming up on Friday. They're not going to be temporary, I'll tell you that. That's a great song.
Oh, yeah.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah, that was another one.
That's, who was in that? Was that Howard Hessman? And I guess that's where we first got to know Burt Reynolds' ex-wife, right? The
Lonnie Anderson.
The voluptuous Lonnie Anderson. That was also a very popular theme song. It's amazing. I mean, every show. How you could do this all day long. This is...
They're like 1 minute little real songs.
Unreal. Unreal how things have changed. And not for the better.
Baby, if you've ever wondered,
dance a little before the show starts. Yeah.
I'm living on the air in Cincinnati.
Did Mork and Mindy have a song? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, God rest his soul.
I don't think that was too memorable.
It wasn't a big, yeah.
No, it wasn't one worth.
No. Like the Brady Bunch, of course, that was a big one. Here's Mark, Pittsburgh. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Sidney. I don't know if you got this as a lead-in for a TV show, but I always loved Hill Street Blues song.
Oh, that was a great song. And by the way, that was a great show. Damn, what was his name?
It was a great show.
A great show.
A lot of people tell me that I'm nuts, and I'm like, what? Why are you talking crap?
Nobody would. First of all, the show was incredibly successful. And it was big before NYPD Blue.
I was going to say, wasn't this like the original NYPD?
Yeah, that was the original NYPD Blue. Daniel Travanti, I think, was the guy who was the star of that show. Here's some Hill Street Blues. Let's play about 30 seconds of this, and then we'll come right back on a busy Wednesday right after this.
Get on the show. Call now. 888-640-9385. It's Sid Rosenberg on 640 Sports.
love, exciting and new. Oh! Come aboard. We're expecting you. And love, life's sweetest reward. Let it flow. It floats back to you.
The great Jack Jones, The Love Boat. Saturday night was pretty good too until the damn midget shot himself. Son of a bitch.
What are you, that was Fantasy Island.
Well, whatever. He was on afterwards to record him out the bottom. Herbie Village as he shot himself.
Well, that's
what
a
happens.
shame.
You have a bad fantasy. Next thing you know, boom, that's it. Who was that guy? He had AIDS, actually. He was on he was on The Love Boat and Fantasy Island like every single week. God, I can't remember his name now. He was on like both shows every Saturday. He literally got right off the boat of The Love Boat and ended up in Fantasy Island every week. He was also on Hollywood Squares a lot. Not Paul Lynde, but he was on all the time.
Paul Lynde.
Remember Paul Lynde? That was when gay was cool, just so you know. The Love Boat was a pretty good show.
There was?
Yeah, Saturday nights was pretty good. He was one of the first guys to really come out. Like, he was gay. Then
Paul Lynde, yeah.
Then we found out that Gomer Pyle, Jim Neighbors, he was really gay. I mean, really gay. What the hell was the name of that guy? He ended up with AIDS. He was on the Love Boat. He was on Fantasy Island. Back then, everybody had AIDS, but
I didn't watch. Those two shows. I didn't really watch.
Oh, son of! You didn't watch those shows. What were you doing on Saturday night?
Well, no, it was probably before my time.
One of the greatest shows ever.
I had Nick at Night. That was where I watched all these shows.
Nick at Night. Well, it was. I didn't know it was even on back then. The Love Boat was on. Well, what shows were on there?
Well, Nick at Night would replay 80s, 70s sitcoms.
Like what?
Starting at 8 o'clock.
Silver Spoons and
like Happy Days and Three's Company,
all
Sanford
right,
and Son.
for a Sid Rosenberg T-shirt, I've got tons of those still in stock. 888-640-9385. I didn't realize this, but it is true. Happy Days is a spin-off too. We know all the shows that spun off of Happy Days: Laverne and Shirley, Joni Loves Chachi, Al's Place. There's 5 of them. What show actually inspired Happy Days? Happy Days was a spin-off of what show? If you get that, you've got a Sid Rosenberg T-shirt coming your way.
Yeah, I found that.
I didn't know this.
I didn't
I had no idea.
And I was a fan of Happy Days.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was a huge fan. Who wasn't a fan of Happy Days?
Yeah, I guess.
But I had no idea it was a spin-off. Did you, Eric? Did you know that?
I had no idea at all.
No idea. I watch every once in a while these shows, but there's too much baseball on now, so. I actually look forward every single day, outside of seeing Danielle and my 2 kids, is watching the Mets and the Yankees and watching baseball. Is that nuts?
No, not at all.
So I used to watch a lot of television with Danielle, like regular stupid shows that she makes me watch, which is fine because I end up with her. But now I'm watching baseball, so. The shows that you like to watch.
Oh, you're watching Broken Skull Ranch?
No, nobody watches that.
Divas?
Nobody watches that. So tonight you got the Yankees and the Orioles. We have an afternoon game today with the Marlins and the Braves. That first pitch is coming up in about 3 hours as the Marlins look to win the series before the Marlins start a 4-game set up in Queens against my Mets starting tomorrow. Marlins won yesterday behind a big night from Stanton. The Mets are looking to sweep the Phillies. Sans David Wright later on tonight in Queens. John Neese on the mound for the Mets. And the Yanks look to take the 2 out of 3, take the series from the Orioles later on tonight. Who's on the mound for the Yanks? Do we have that?
I do not know.
Yeah, you should know that.
I should know that.
Yeah, but you don't know that, do you?
I'll start knowing that.
Let me see. Later on tonight, Yankees in Baltimore, the rubber match of the 3-game set. The former Marlin Evaldi on the mound for the Yankees, and Norris makes the start for Baltimore. You got that. The Heat are out of the playoffs, but there's some very important games tonight if you like the NBA. Oklahoma City and New Orleans are still vying for the 8th spot in the Western Conference. Right now, the Pelicans have it. But if the Pelicans lose at home tonight to San Antonio and the Thunder beats Minnesota, Oklahoma City will replace New Orleans as the 8th seed. In the Eastern Conference, the Pacers own the 8th seed. But if Indiana loses in Memphis tonight and the Brooklyn Nets beat Orlando in Brooklyn, the Nets will replace the Pacers. So right now, it's the Pelicans, number 8 in the West, and the Pacers, number 8 in the East. But Oklahoma City and Brooklyn are a loss and a win away from making that change.
Why don't we refer to the Pelicans as Lengel's Pelicans?
We should.
Yeah,
Lengel's
we really
Pelicans.
should.
He's a diehard New Orleans Pelicans fan.
Yeah, so that means...
Can't tell you anybody on the team outside of Antonio Davis, even that probably. But he loves that team.
I know about Anthony Davis, and I know about...
Drew Holiday?
No.
He's on the team?
I don't know.
No, he is. Ryan Anderson?
They're from New Orleans. That's all I need to know. I pull for New Orleans.
Is Pete Maravich still on the team?
No, not anymore.
No. He died 40 years ago, bro.
He died 40 years ago?
A long time ago.
Pistol
He's been dead.
Pete,
Yeah.
really?
Pistol Pete's gone.
Oh, well, rest in
Islanders
peace.
and Capitals are on at 7 o'clock tonight on the USA Network. I'll watch some of that.
USA Network. That's the first game.
It's actually the same exact time as the Canadians and the Senators.
You are
They play exactly the same time. In fact, tomorrow night from the Garden, Rangers, Penguins, and Detroit, Tampa Bay also exactly the same time. The Eastern Conference games all start at 7. They do have different times for the Western Conference games.
Yeah, depending if you're Central America or the West Coast.
Yes.
Right.
Here's Mike. Good morning, Michael.
Hey, Sid, the guy you're looking for from the Love Boat Fantasy Island, would that be Ricardo Montalban?
No, he was never on Love Boat, but he was the host of Fantasy Island. I'm talking about a guy that was always a guest. He was a guest star on Love Boat. He was a guest star on Fantasy Island. He was really popular back in the 80s. Ended up with AIDS. A pretty popular actor. And he was always tan also. Not like George Hamilton, but always had a nice tan. George, what's going on? Hello, George.
Hey, good morning, Sid. Great show. Thanks for entertaining me every morning.
Thank you.
Theme song, Welcome Back, Carter.
Well, Carter. Who's Carter? So welcome back, Jimmy Carter. Welcome back, Carter, yes.
That was a good one, right?
Yeah, give me some of this. Little John Sebastian.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket.
They always play this song for me when they get fired and come back to a new station. So, same old place. This is a pretty good cast too. When you think about it, John Travolta, Gabe Kaplan. You know, the girl who played Gabe Kaplan's wife, pretty girl Julie, she died this year. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, Freddie Boom Boom Washington. He was a great actor. Ron Palillo, he's alive, right? But the guy that played Juan Epstein, he's dead. Well, that was Ron Palillo. Who played Horseshack? No, that was Palillo. The whole thing's confusing the hell out of me.
Rich Stevens says he's gone.
John Burns. Hello, Johnny. Thank you, Rich Stevens. Johnny, what's going on, pal?
Hello?
Yes, sir. John, you're on the air.
Hey.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on? Love American Style was
That's exactly
Happy
right.
Days was,
Very good. Yes.
Game against.
Yes.
That, and actually a few others, Laverne Shirley, Morgan Mindy, they all kind of
Love American Style. Did any of you know that Happy Days is a spin-off of Love American Style?
That had to be an awful show. Was it?
No, it wasn't an awful show. It was a great show. I watched that when I was a kid. They had a very popular, thank you, John, we love you, John and Carol Burns. They had a very popular theme song, too. The great John Burns. He knows everything.
So how did Happy Days,
I don't know how that...
kind of overtake
I don't know that.
the spin-off. Okay.
He says he liked the music, too, from Beretta and SWAT.
Oh, yeah, Beretta was badass. And SWAT was, too.
Yeah.
SWAT was real.
Well, he killed his wife, Robert Blake, in real life.
In real life, yes, he did.
Oof.
Dragnet's another great show we didn't talk about.
Dragnet. No, it's not.
What?
Oh, get out of here.
You didn't like Dragnet?
I like
Those
the
were
movie
true
with Dan
stories.
Aykroyd.
That was funny.
American style, truer than the red, white, and blue. American style, that's me and you. And on a star-spangled...
All right, thank you for that. Anyway.
He's getting into this music thing with
He
TV
loves
shows.
this stuff.
Look at the big smile on his face.
Big smile.
This was
memories.
This was a good time in his life, yes. Before all the oppression. Now he works in a band. Retaliation is the name of the band, and their top hit is Oppression.
No, Retaliation.
Right. And there was no retaliation back then.
There was none.
There was none of that.
Okay.
It was one. What do you got there? What is that?
SWAT.
It's the dumbest show ever.
SWAT was...
That was a badass show, yeah. Beretta was better, though. I did like Beretta. But of course, Robert Blake served about as much jail time for killing his wife in cold blood, shot her right in the face outside of an LA restaurant in his car as O.J. did the first time. Well, O.J. actually did serve some time the first time, but now they finally got him for good. But Robert Blake is another guy that got off. And he didn't have Jose Baez or Johnny Cochran, but he got off too. All right, we got to go. I know the phones are ringing off the hook.
Like, seriously, this is insane, man.
Yeah, we got to go, though. Play a best of. I got something to do, so I'm out of here. And tomorrow we got a crazy good show. Who's on the show tomorrow?
Pedro Gomez, ESPN.
Which is always a great baseball conversation. Big baseball weekend coming up. And again, big 4-game set starting tomorrow in Queens between the Mets and the Marlins. So ESPN's Pedro Gomez will be here tomorrow.
Trying to work out a time with
Mark
Jeff Van
Feinsand is coming on tomorrow, too. So the Yankees, they finish up the 3-game set against Baltimore today. They enjoy an off day tomorrow. No Yankee baseball here on 640 before traveling to Tampa Bay and Detroit. So they've got the Rays on the road this weekend, Tigers early next week, and then the Mets and Yankees for the first time this year next week.
Possibly Jeff Van Gundy, still trying to work a time and day.
Oh, that'll
He's
be
traveling
great.
a little bit, but
That'll
I'll
be
definitely
great.
have him in the next 2 days.
That'll be great.
So,
well, the NBA playoffs are coming up this weekend.
Yep.
NHL starts tonight. NBA playoffs this weekend. The very last game of the regular season with a couple of 8 spots possibly changing hands later on tonight with the Mets, Marlins, and Yankees all in action. It's a great show today, boys, as always.
It was fun. Thank you.
Had a good time?
Oh, yeah.
I know you're going
Always.
to a funeral today, Eric, so I wanted to...
Tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's right. It's the day of the picnic.
That's
That's right. It's probably today, but in an effort to not go to the picnic, you've lied. So now you're saying it's tomorrow, right?
What are you talking about tomorrow? I didn't lie.
Well, you so desperate don't want to go to the picnic, the PBB picnic. They want you to be in the dunk tank, is what I heard.
Well,
hey, I'll go up there if Lingel's in the dunk tank.
That you would go for?
Yeah.
I could make that happen, you know. Leo loved today's show, too, as did Well, as did all of you. So thank you for tuning in. We've got some best stuff coming up next couple of minutes. And we're back again tomorrow morning at 6. So for Z-Mac, Langell, and Sid, and all of you, have yourselves have a blessed Wednesday. Until tomorrow at 6, everybody. Peace.
And so I face the final curtain.
I don't know about you, but I would love to listen to Z-Mac and Lingo all day and all morning.
What's the matter? Toilet don't work?
Put it in the box!
And Miguel, he needs to grow a pair.
I'm going to tell Al Roker to say, Hey, Al, say hi to Sid Rosenberg.
Sid Rosenberg. Sid, on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you, Sid, not for what you do, but for what you appear to do, and I mean that sincerely.
She's unique. That's for darn sure.
She's
unique.
And she's cute, too. I mean, it had to bring you back to the days when you and Burt Reynolds were pulling 2-on-1s back at Florida State, yes?
Not so fast, my friend. No, let's don't go there. Let's don't go there.
What was the movie up in Boston where everybody was in it? Nicholson, Damon, Wahlberg, Alec Baldwin.
In Boston?
Yeah, the Boston mob.
Gangs of New York?
Eric Langell really sounds stupid.
I don't like anyone.
Homer's a dickhead.
I think Troyton's a queer.
John David Booty shot Abe Lincoln.
Hi, Uncle Z-Mac.
Who has a better beard than me, bro? No one. I'm winded, man.
Jim Rome doesn't hold my left testicle.
Hey, Big Earl. Welcome to Miami, man.
The last comedy to win an Academy Award was what?
Philadelphia.
Sid, these people are dicks.
Hey, Sid.
Yeah.
Miguel sounds unusually stupid today. Knows nothing of nothing. Nothing. Nothing, Sid.
I mean, do you have any idea who played Rhett Butler in all seriousness?
Humphrey Bogart?
Eric and West Palm, what's going on?
Rick Stevens, you son of a bitch. That's the president.
What?